So this will lead us to now a roughly 15 to 20 minute meditation practice. I will guide. Today's emphasis being more about treating your breath as that place in which you keep coming back to. So last week we may have noticed that as we were breathing, the mind was wandering, but we may not have been so sure of how to work with that mind as it wanders. So today we'll have this idea that we treat our breath as like a home base, as this centering point in which we keep coming back time and time again. Not holding ourselves in contempt, not being disheartened if we get distracted, not becoming upset, dejected, because that's just all negative energy that influences your practice. It's the ability to let all of these distractions go time and time and time again so that we can start fresh every time we begin again. So, those of you, if you wish, blocks are always available to be used underneath your legs. Backrest is available. Over time, it does take time. The body needs to adjust to sitting cross-legged, to sitting without backrest, since we're so used to it in our chairs. But the idea is, over time, you will develop the strength within your physical body to sit upright. And other meditation practices, like some of the ones that I do, exposing the back is a very valuable part of the practice because there's a lot of energy that's hidden back here that we don't feel in our day-to-day. And when we rest it up against a wall, we lose some of that contact of feeling those really small points. I'm getting more into the nuance of things, so I don't want you to be like, okay, he's talking about energy on the back, I got to sit up. But just understand that, at the start, there is an adjustment period for the body. And my ask was a very simple ask last week. Who meditated 10 minutes a day?
I did, but not all 7 days.
Okay, that's still fine.
Sunday, yes.
So mine takes a break on the weekend? Okay, noted. So, that those first few meditations that we do, they are an adjustment period. You have to identify what works well for you. Me sitting cross-legged at this point in time works well for me. Some of us may prefer to sit with legs extended. Some of us will sit in some different way. I can't go lotus position, but there are different meditation postures depending on what is available in your body. Even to go to the extent of, if you're unable to sit, I've mentioned lying down is an option. Just got to be very sharp with the mind because the body gets very soft. Sitting in a chair, being that happy medium in which your legs aren't as burdened, but you're still able to sit in a posture. So take these first couple of minutes as we soften into the body. Find your meditation posture to begin. We try our best to find a comfortable, upright position in which the legs can be comfortable. Your hands can rest, whether that's on your knees, on your legs, or in your lap. But understand that nothing special needs to happen here. We're just trying to find something comfortable, something relaxed. We did explore last week just the idea of creating tension, to notice what tension feels like, scrunching up the forehead, maybe clenching the jaw, shrugging the shoulders, making fists, just to feel tension in your body so that you can release and soften it. If it's available within your body, allowing the muscles around your eyes to soften, to close. If that feels like a lot to initially work with, then we can always just look down at the ground, casting our gaze somewhere on the floor in front of us, just so that we don't get distracted by all the things in front of us, so that we center ourselves below us. So we start here. Not even worrying initially about breath. Getting the body comfortable, relaxed. We calm down the mind. We quiet it down as much as we can. And this sense of getting comfortable, relaxed, calm, quiet, it doesn't need to be rushed. Before any of that even happens, we may have to take a few moments to just acknowledge what we are feeling today. So there may be a particular area of the body that needs to get relaxed. The shoulders, the hips. It could be that there's something pressing on your mind, something that you have planned later today or later this week, or something that's happened earlier today or over the weekend. Now, when it comes to finding your breath, typically there's 3 areas that you will find it in. Towards the nostrils, around the chest, or lower down within the belly. You don't have to feel the breath in all 3 places. If it happens, great. But for today, see where out of these 3 places you feel your breath most clearly. So we don't have to breathe in any special way. We don't have to force the breath to get deeper into the body. Notice where your natural breath is felt. Around your nostrils, around your chest, around your belly. Choose one to give more importance towards. If you do require more energy to be brought into the breath, you can always take some deeper breaths. Slightly longer breaths, slightly harder breaths, to establish or re-establish connection to your breath. But once that connection is made, once you feel connected to breath, let it become soft. Bring it back to its natural state. Now, as your awareness darts from maybe chest, belly, nostrils, to just figure out what feels most clear, there is a chance that your mind wanders, trying to figure out which one works best as your anchor. Noticing your mind wandering is a part of the practice. That is the practice. That is a sense of mindfulness. It doesn't matter how long the mind wandered for, but the moment we notice it wandering, that is us becoming mindful to what is happening. And having noticed the mind wander, we bring it back to breath. No animosity towards the mind, no frustration towards the mind. Just picking up where you left off as if nothing ever changed or nothing ever happened. We notice distractions when they happen, we acknowledge distractions when they happen, and we return to our breath. We remain anchored to our inhales and exhales, feeling the in-breath, feeling the out-breath, centering our attention towards where we feel breath most clearly: nostrils, chest, belly. Reminding yourself that when you notice your mind wandering, that is a mindful action. To be aware of the mind wandering away, to acknowledge that it did wander, and to bring your mind back to your breath. letting the qualities of your breath extend outwards to your body and mind. The softness of your breath, allowing for your body to remain soft. The quietness of your breath, allowing your mind to remain quiet. And once again, any time a distraction comes up, whether within your control or out of your control, notice it, acknowledge it, and return to your breath as if nothing happened. We can invite a deeper breath back into the body as we come to the end of our meditation. Palms can come closer together. Palms can begin to rub as heat gets created within our hands. And allowing for that heat to wash over your face as you then take your time to reopen your eyes. So just a couple of minutes for silent reflection. Simple question. It's like, what did you notice in your meditation? Physically, what did you notice? Mentally, what did you notice? And there's no right answer, there's no wrong answer, but this is just a moment of reflection post-meditation. If you noticed something that was worth noticing, great. If there was very little to notice, no problem. And then the question that would relate to what did we notice is, how did we come back? So we may have noticed certain distractions, physical distractions, mental distractions, environmental distractions. But then how did we come back to our practice? How did we come back to our breath? And then to open up the floor along those questions, what did you notice about coming back to your breath? Was it something that was easily done? Was it something that required a bit of convincing for your mind to do? Did it create a disruption in the flow of your meditation? Or were you able to let go of the distraction as if nothing happened and begin again, return again? So that also would tell you a little bit about your relationship to your distractions and your relationship to how you choose to practice. Where did your breath feel the most obvious? And for each of us, it may be somewhere different. The entrance of the nose, the nostrils, the tip of the nose, chest, belly. Show of hands, who used their nostrils as their anchor for breath? Who used their chest? Who used their belly? So there's no right or wrong way to work with the breath. Main way to think about it is that, at least how it was explained to me. You okay?
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
A little tickle in my throat.
It happens. It happens. The way that the breath was explained to me, and just how I like to think about it, is when we work deeper into the body, belly, chest, we can feel a lot more of the physical sensation of breath. We can feel the movement of the body. If we're laying down on our back, the rising and falling of the belly and chest. When we're seated up, it's more of just the expansion and contraction of the chest cavity. And that's a great place to start off with meditation practices, because it's a more gross sensation. Gross not as in ew, ugly, or anything like that, just gross, more bigger scale. The challenge when we start to shift awareness to the nose is that it becomes subtler. It's a subtle breath. Unless you are breathing like that, which is not what we're trying to do when it comes to working with the nose. We want it to be subtle. The challenge with the subtlety of the breath is that with the body already soft as it is, when the breath becomes that subtle, the body has the chance, it runs the risk of like falling into that deep sleep of the breath. And so it's that balancing act of soft body, comfortable body, relaxed body, but the mind is sharp. It is razor sharp that it can cut through any distraction that comes up. And for some of us, naturally, as we're starting meditation practices, we have like a butter knife. And it takes a bit of time sometimes to cut through a distraction. And then over time, we just keep sharpening the knife, the awareness of our mind, the alertness of our mind, so that when that distraction comes up later in your practices or as you develop your practice, what took maybe a bit of convincing or a bit of time to break through, to cut through, over time it's able to get sliced through as it shows up. No doubt it takes time, it takes practice, and we have to normalize the fact that there is no such thing as a bad meditation. It doesn't matter if you coughed halfway through and you had to leave, that's just the reality of it. But we can still keep a quality of mind. Thank you. I understand you don't want to disturb anyone's peace and all that kind of stuff. I've heard women fart, so they all fart. I know that. I've heard all of the bodily sounds in meditation halls. So, we want to be courteous and kind to one another, but there's still a way to maintain the continuity of practice with eyes open, with eyes closed. If anybody wishes to share, as they did last week, like what showed up when your mind wandered today?